In this video, I'm going to share my exact formula and steps I took to avoid burnout during an extremely busy time. I am a late diagnosed autistic ADHD and I'm very prone to burnouts. I used to burn out all the time. But I have found my formula combining my degree in psychology, 20 years in mindfulness, and personal experience of 10 years in and out of autistic burnout. And now I help other autistic people to overcome and prevent autistic burnout. So let's get right into it. Firstly, I want to talk about the self-care that I already had before this busy time came, because I think it helped me to be well prepared and it definitely played a part in not burning out during the busy time. I definitely don't have a perfect self-care routine, but this is what I do most of the time. Firstly, I make sure I get enough sleep and I go to sleep mostly the same time every night, and I try not to stay up too late. I always make sure I drink 3 to 4 liters of water a day. If I haven't had enough water, I definitely get a headache and cannot get anything done. So this is something that I always make sure I do. I always make sure I have enough food. I always make sure I have 3 meals a day and often snacks as well. Because if I haven't had enough food, or I easily get depleted, feel irritable, and just don't have enough energy to get through the day. It's not a perfect diet. I try to stay healthy, but I definitely have some frozen microwave food and things like that if I'm busy, and I don't judge myself for that. To avoid burnout, the first thing you need to do is just make sure you eat enough food. You can worry about a healthy diet when you are better and when you're not at risk of burnout. What else? I also usually spend 10-15 minutes exercising every morning. It's not something intense. It's nothing fancy really. It's just make sure to move my body a little bit and stay well during the day. I also do meditation every day, which helps me to regulate my nervous system and stay focused during the day. I know meditation doesn't work for everyone. I definitely have some clients, especially ADHD people, who find it hard. So there are definitely other solutions. You just basically need to make sure you use some other tools to regulate your nervous system and stay focused. For me, it helps to meditate in the shape of mantras, breath work, and guided relaxation techniques like yoga nidra. So this is how my very basic self-care routine looks like usually. Not always, and it's not perfect. I definitely slip sometimes, and I don't judge myself for it. And I know the same routine might not work for everyone. You need to find one that works for you. When you're burnt out or prone to burnout, it's much harder to keep to a healthy self-care routine. So if that's you, hang around this channel. I talk a lot about that. Now I want to talk about how I prepared for the busy time, because I knew it was coming. I knew I have decided to do 2 big projects at the same time. So this is how I prepared. I did 2 main things to prepare. So one was around decided on non-negotiables of self-care. I really committed to myself and drew boundaries for myself for what I'm definitely gonna do no matter what. So I decided that I'm going to bed before 11 p.m. no matter what. I'm gonna drink enough water no matter what. I'm gonna have 3 meals a day no matter what. And I think having that boundaries around self-care really helped me through the busy time. I also used this workbook to help me plan my self-care, and I would refer to it once a week during that busy time to make sure I'm really on top of my self-care and I stay well, because I can only be as successful, as productive as I feel well and healthy. And my clients use the same workbook as well to help them prevent their burnouts or fight them when they first start. And my favorite thing of self-care that I did to prepare for the busy period, I booked myself, I think, 1 massage during that time and a few yoga classes with my girlfriends. So I knew I was forced to take a break from the work and recharge myself. It can be really hard to force yourself to do that if you are talented superhuman and prone to hyper focus and a high achiever. But actually, if you plan it in advance, it's it's a bit easier to force yourself to do that. And actually, if you do take a break, it makes you well rested and refreshed, and you actually can come back and work more effectively. Essentially, you do more at the end of the day because you have more energy. The second thing I did to prepare myself for this busy time, I really planned my work. So I looked at all the tasks that need to be done. Like, I didn't plan everything in a small detail, but like high level overall plan, what needs to be done when, how this whole project is gonna go, how it's gonna fit around my calendar, what are the non-negotiable tasks that absolutely need to be done that I need to focus on, and which tasks are more like nice to have. So then, during the time I would of course get started on the non-negotiables and only do the nice to haves if I had the time and energy for them. And I looked at the tasks, and I tried to see what I could prepare beforehand. So I did as much of preparation and planning and did some of the tasks in advance and automated them. So when the time came, I didn't have to do as much work. And also when I planned a lot of things in advance, I didn't have to spend time and energy on decisions. I could just like go in and execute what needed to be done. This sort of preparation really helped me to go into it with a good mindset and not be scared of the busy time that's waiting for me. And here is what happened when the time came. There were a lot of unexpected things. A lot of things took longer than expected. I had multiple tech challenges, and I had to redo some things because the tech wasn't working, and it was quite stressful, but I tried my best not to judge myself for my mistakes. I knew that some other things are unavoidable, like sometimes tech is gonna glitch. I sometimes worked longer hours than I first planned. So normally during busy times, my boundary would be 8 to 10 hours a day, but some days it was more. And I even had a few hours of work on Saturdays when I usually wouldn't, so I kind of overstepped my boundary, but I was doing it very consciously and mindfully, knowing, okay, I'm just gonna do this just this month when I'm really busy. I really want to get this project done. I really think that these couple of hours of work is gonna give a very big effect and a big result. So I really just did that, and then I made sure the rest of the weekend I would rest really well and disconnect from it. Another thing I did that was a bit counterintuitive, I agreed to look after my friend's dog. So when he first asked me to look after his dog, my first thought was, well, I probably shouldn't because I have a really busy time and I really just should focus on my own wellness and not like be doing favors for other people. But then I thought about it and I thought, okay, actually having a dog around is gonna boost my mood. Is gonna make sure I have some breaks to play with him, is gonna make sure I'm going to go for a walk twice a day, and it's going to really help me with my wellness. And I was absolutely right. When the dog was there, it was only I think a week or 10 days, I was feeling better and my work didn't suffer. It wasn't like I was doing less work or achieving less. I was actually achieving more because I was having that break, I had better mood, and I was outside twice a day. I am not saying everyone get a dog, because I know having it long term, it does have some responsibilities and an extra load. But for me, having dog for that week really helped me. What else happened during the time? I sometimes would get a bit more stressed, so I would need to use more of my toolbox around stress regulation. I would also find it a bit harder to switch off after the day in the evenings or weekends to actually get good quality rest. So it really helped me to have that time when I booked a massage or I went to yoga class with my girlfriends, because that really helped me to actually switch off and disconnect from everything and rest. And having those breaks during the week also meant that during the weekend or during the evening, I would be able to rest a bit better. Okay, now thinking about my basic self-care, I think I was able to do my non-negotiable self-care that I decided to do. That was going to sleep at 11 p.m. and always making sure I have enough food and enough water. I also wasn't skipping on my exercise and I wasn't skipping on my meditation, so I think that was really good and it really helped me. I think there was a couple of times when I went to bed later, but not because of work. It was more because I couldn't regulate myself. I couldn't rest. And it really helped me to do yoga nidra at that time. Here is what happened right after the busy period. I went straight into another project, which technically it is a mistake, but at that time I thought it's okay because it wasn't work project, it was personal project, it was organizing some really nice events with my friends, it was being around people I love, it was doing things around my special interests. So I thought it's gonna be a really cool way to have some fun after a busy period, but it was actually busier than we anticipated because we did a similar thing last year. We got much more attention and much bigger influx of people, so much bigger influx of people in these events. And it is, I would say it is a mistake to go right after one project into another project, even though it was a personal thing. It wasn't work related, it was fun for me, but still I didn't have that padding of rest and recovery. So during this personal project, I actually found myself getting quite moody, quite irritable, dissociating more, and my body was showing me signs that it is stressed. My back pain was getting worse. I was starting to feel some cold symptoms, and this is when I listened, and I really took a few days rest, being in bed, recovering, made me so much better, and I was able to go back to the project and finish it feeling well rested, being in a better mood, and having energy to do it. I am curious, how do you manage your busy periods, and how do you avoid burnout? Please share in the comments and help each other with a busy time. The other part of the reason why I was able to avoid the burnout was because I went through many burnouts and I learned a lot during them, and I did a lot of work on myself around learning to draw boundaries for myself, for other people, learning to quit people pleasing, learning to grow my confidence, understanding my energy cycles, learning how to regulate my nervous system, how to regulate emotions, and so many other things, which made a great foundation for my wellness. All that really helped me to recover from burnouts for good, stay well, and served as a good foundation for my wellness going into busy periods just like this one. So if things I talk about in this video seem impossible for you, or you might be doing them already and they're not helping, fear not, you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need a bit more work, a bit more practice, and likely more support, and I'm here to help you with that. And if you want to learn more about how I overcome many years of autistic burnout, make sure to check out this video here.